Welcome to Illuminati Silver. We tell you the truth about silver. Today is Sunday the 28th of June, 2015. Most silver miners are not about to go bust. There are lies, untruths, and exaggerations perpetrated on the internet in order to panic you into buying silver to prop up an inevitable price-falling commodity so that dealers can exit their stocks at reasonable prices. This is how it goes. These guys claim that $16 silver is below the cost of production. Therefore, the miners and mines will go bust or close down. Supply will dry up, and silver prices will skyrocket. So buy now, while it's cheap, and while you can actually get hold of the stuff. Well, let's look at this situation a little closer, shall we? Firstly, there are two main cost assessments. The first, cash costs. The actual physical direct costs of extracting the silver from the ground. The second, all-in sustaining costs, which include cash costs, plus admin, the operation of the business, plus exploration charges. Now, it does make sense for any business to look at the all-in sustaining costs closely, as this depicts its level of profit before tax. However, companies can survive on cash costs for a while, and in the past many have for cash flow purposes. The second area to look at are the types of mines which exist, as the two main types have very different cost levels. You have the primary silver mines, which represent 30% of all silver mined, and you have those mines such as gold, lead and zinc, which produce silver as a byproduct, and these represent 70% of the silver mined in any given year. It makes sense, therefore, that the mines which produce silver as a byproduct can do so much cheaper than the primary silver mines. According to mineweb.com, who from our analysis produce relatively reliable assessments, the top 10 mining companies in the world in 2014 mined some 400 million ounces, just under half of the silver mined globally. Of these 10 mines, 4 are primary silver mines. The 10 companies are KGHM Polska Miedź, Fresnillo, Goldcorp, BHP Billiton, Glencore Extrata, Polymetal, Pan American Silver, Sia Minera Volcan, Buenaventura, and Coeur Mining. A report by Metals Focus, a UK specialist consultancy, shows that these miners had an average all-in sustaining cost of $14.09 an ounce. So at current prices, these companies are making, on average, $2+ an ounce, with most producing 30 to 40 million ounces a year. Not a bad profit level on just their mine silver operations. This is why the consultancy predicts that silver supply will continue to increase, primarily the result of recent primary silver mine openings. It's a direct quote. Excuse me? We thought these mines were on the verge of bankruptcy. Well, if that was the case, why has a brand new mine in Guatemala recently opened and is predicted to become one of the world's largest silver mines? Hardly the action of an industry that is about to go bust. To look at these issues a little deeper, let us now assess cash costs. You remember, the direct costs of extracting silver from the ground. According to the Silver Institute, a renowned professional industry body, primary silver mine cash costs dropped to $7.74 an ounce in 2014. So even the more expensive mines have cash costs more than 50% lower than the current silver price. So what are the cash costs of those mines that produce silver as a byproduct? You've guessed it, in many cases, below $5 an ounce. And remember, they represent 70% of the market. Now, before we are heckled, we're not saying that these miners can survive at prices equivalent to cash costs for long, but they can for a little while. This will undoubtedly affect exploration and therefore long-term silver prices. But short-term though, these companies can still survive. So our overall conclusion is this. At $15 and above, silver mines are not going to close or go bust, except perhaps those which are already inefficient or have insufficient capital or are overgeared, as in any other industry. In fact, at these levels, most are making money. At $12 to $13 an ounce, silver mines are not going to close or go bust, but explorations will be affected. At $10 an ounce, some mines will close, and one or two companies will go through. But sufficient mergers should ensue, which would still guarantee supply. Below $8, only the strongest will survive more than a year or two, or those which produce silver as a byproduct. It is for these reasons we believe that it is unlikely, though not impossible, for silver prices to fall much below $12, and a base of $10 is the lowest we can see prices fall to before serious ramifications affect the market. One of the greatest critics on YouTube, the internet, and at conferences of the silver price level is Keith Neumayer, the CEO of First Majestic Silver. But even his company have reduced all-in sustainable costs to $13.88 an ounce and cash costs to $8.22. So draw your own conclusions. We hope you have found this video helpful and would appreciate it if you would give us a thumb up or down, comment, and if you haven't already done so, please subscribe. Disclaimer. Silver Illuminati owners come from a background of banking, international wealth management, and economics. Having now retired from these worlds, we are not now qualified to give investment advice. Therefore, this and other productions must not be deemed to be giving such advice and merely represent the personal views of its owners.